We built the world's most complex scratch rig. I'm gonna sit here and do a lot of this. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, California.
With me, Jim. Start over.
Hi. Okay, ready?
No. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Cutting Corners with Jim and Jake, or I'm Jim, this is Jake. Anyway, today we're gonna talk about powder coat durability and powder coat as compared to three common coatings that you would probably do yourself: Krylon paint and automotive paint.
Yep, so we made three exactly the same size samples. Each sample, we had a professional do our automotive paint.
Semi-professional.
Did it for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
So, well, not with Krylon.
Paint, I mean, Krylon, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a long time. And then also powder coating done in-house at SendCutSend. We also came up with three main categories: impact resistance, heat resistance, and chemical resistance. So we're gonna use a couple different situations to test those.
Yeah.
The first thing is scratch rig.
Yeah, and first of all, sorry to Devin. Yes, he's an expert automotive painter. Just no one is a professional with Krylon, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, fair.
Okay,
fair.
so first up, let's go head to head. Let's go powder versus Krylon.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Kyle, as you've seen in previous episodes, designed this scratch rig for us because we wanted consistency.
Super cool design though. It's all laser cut.
Yeah, these are actually titanium scratchers. And if you get in real close, you can see that the spring action is actually in the material itself. So shout out to Kyle for being super clever.
Very clever design.
So powder, Krylon, we're supposed to bolt this to the table, but this table's pretty janky.
Yeah, we're doing it.
So I'm just gonna run it through. Should I be counting how many times?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would just go until you see failure, which I think I see failure.
Okay.
So boom. So we have Krylon over here, powder coating over here. We can see failure kind of coming through on the Krylon compared to our powder coating.
And I would say I can't feel this.
Yeah.
But I can feel that. So that'll catch with my fingernail. This does not. So
powder coater, clear winner on that one.
Now we'll flip it over and we'll do automotive. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, it's great.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, he's good.
All right. We'll chuck it in. Oh, hang on, I went too far. Give her some old scratches.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Not too
I
bad,
would say
actually.
A pretty consistent.
I think that's a tie.
Yeah.
Oh, producer Sarah's telling me to hold them up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I would say that that's definitely a tie across those two. A little bit of failure maybe down here.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, this is kind of to be expected, right? Automotive paint typically has a harder outside coating, similar to powder coating, like a shell type thing.
Yeah.
So I would actually kind of expect that.
Yeah, so powder, similar to automotive, not bad.
Okay, next up, this is my favorite part. We brought in a pellet gun pistol. It's a German-made Olympic pistol that we're gonna do impact testing, so it'll be very consistent across these, so we can get to shooting.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, here we go. The first one is automotive paint.
What distance are you?
Actual distance.
Yeah.
You go check it out?
Yeah, should we look?
So it hit right here. Oh, no, I don't see anything.
Did you hit it?
I hit it.
Oh, well, that did amazing.
I did really, really well. Next up, Krylon. Oh yeah, you can see it from here.
Big difference.
Definitely failed. Chipped it completely off. All right. Last one, powder coating. I can see where it hit. Discolored it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But definitely didn't break through. I would actually say automotive maybe is a little bit of a winner on that one.
For impact resistance, yeah. I mean, overall, pretty good except for Krylon.
I would say that powder coating didn't fail,
Yeah.
but did show a little bit of a witness mark.
I mean, and these were all prepared similarly as far as like base adhesion and
Exactly the
surface
same,
prep and everything. So
same surface prep.
just, rattle can spray paint is not going to adhere as good as automotive or powder. So
Yeah.
interesting result.
All right. Now it's time to bring the heat. We came out.
I knew you were doing something. Okay. Yes, let's bring the heat.
Let's bring the heat.
Okay, so
We got a toaster oven.
yeah,
right?
we didn't do this live because it's boring. Because we cooked these for 20 minutes at 450 degrees. They're cool now, obviously.
Or you're just really hot.
Actually, yeah, these are 450 degrees right now. The only result that we saw is some discoloration. So jump on in here, Keaton. And yeah. So discolored, but I was actually surprised at 450 degrees and 20 minutes, there wasn't a lot of melting or dripping or charring or anything like that. So kind of inconclusive. The biggest change was on the automotive paint, which it got obviously darker. That could be because of the gold color, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Powder coat, relatively minimal change, and that's because we cure powder in a powder coating oven anyway. So
Yeah. Krylon actually held up really well to that one too.
yeah, and they all kind of went back to the original
hard
hardness.
finish.
So anyway, heat, not really a big deal either way.
Yeah.
At least toaster heat. So now let's turn it
So
up.
more of an entertaining one is to like just put some map gas to these
Yeah.
and hold them as long as possible, right?
I don't know why I'm
safety
doing
glass,
this.
safety first.
Okay. Oh, hang
right.
on. We're supposed to time it, right?
We're gonna time it.
We're gonna time it till failure.
We'll do powder coating first.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, you're just gonna, okay, send
Yeah.
it. Failure on which side?
Either.
Okay.
You watch that side.
There, that's fail.
That is a failure.
We'll call that 7 seconds.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, let's do
Automotive. Here we go.
Fail. Whoops. That was about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
This is not the most scientific method ever. It's working. Okay, ready? Wait, hang on, reset.
Ready.
And go. Fail? What? I don't know. It's white.
That is fail.
There's fail. 8 seconds. Okay.
I mean, I could smell it a lot earlier than the
that
other
stuff's
ones.
gross. Oh, this one failed on the other side too.
Yeah.
So
So powder coating actually held up on the back side more than it did on the front side. Oh.
anyway, I'm sure we're going to get lots of comments about how shitty that test was. But I would say overall powder did a pretty damn good job, especially on the other side. So powder, as you would expect, is a little more resistant to heat because that's how we actually produce it. Krylon, I've caught lots of stuff on fire with Krylon before, and it just makes a terrible gas and then flakes off really easy. So we're going to call it powder for the win.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, so one of the big things is chemical resistance, right? So there's a lot of solvents that are already on the market to remove different types of finishing, like Krylon, even powder coating. MEK is one of the ones that we use to actually test it. So let's get all of the different solvents on the table and we can do some chemical testing.
Okay, chemical next.
Okay.
All right, next, yeah. Chemical resistance, like it? Yeah.
Boom,
Okay.
set up. So one of the industry standards for testing finishes, especially powder coating, is to use a chemical called MEK. MEK is a little bit harder to get a hold of nowadays, but they do make a replacement product called painter solvent, and that's what we have here.
It's not the same.
It's just not the same as
It's
it
close.
used to be.
Yeah. Thank you, California, for this, whatever the hell that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, we used to be able to get MEK and walk up and
I know.
uphill both ways to school, right?
Lead paint.
Yeah. Okay, so what you end up doing is you take a Q-tip, and I have a bunch of MEK in here. You dip it in there, and then you rub it on the surface, back and forth, until you remove, you get discoloration on the Q-tip. And this is actually holding up a little bit. You can see it's discoloring a little bit, but that's to be an expected result.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah. So on powder coating and stuff, it ends up removing it, it softens it up. This is supposed to be the hardest chemical on powder coating, so this is an expected result to a degree. But typically it just lifts it. It doesn't actually remove the adhesion to the surface. The next one is, so I'll leave that Q-tip here so we don't get mixed results. Dip another Q-tip, We're going to do Krylon paint next. We're going to come in here. And you can see immediately I'm pulling off paint.
Oh, yeah.
And so theoretically that's a failure, whereas I barely pulled any green off of that powder coating, right?
Yep.
And then we'll do the last one, which is automotive paint. Again, this is a very aggressive chemical for powder, or for even powder.
And this is a single stage paint too, I wanted to mention. There's no clear on this.
So this is actually holding up right now. So this one holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
To, just the rubbing test.
I'd call that a win.
But we didn't want to stop there, right? So this is the industry standards. We actually test our stuff this way.
Yes.
What better way to test than to go more extreme and just let them soak?
Yeah.
So I can let you kind of go over those.
So we took the same thing, MEK, and then left these sample parts in there for an hour and a half. And you can see Krylon just like flaked off and became this weird gel. Powder, some discoloration. It's actually more of like a matte finish where it was in the dip, but otherwise successful, and it's still pretty hard right now. And then the automotive paint in MEK failed as well, so kind of got underneath there and made it pop off. So fail with long exposure.
Yeah, actually, so the Krylon and the automotive paint actually failed very, very quickly. How quick was it?
Yeah, like 10 minutes?
10 seconds for Krylon, 10 minutes for auto.
Oh,
10 seconds for Krylon, 10 for auto. And that actually
Yeah.
kind of goes along with what we saw here, right?
Yeah.
The second I started wiping it off here, this was holding up a little bit
Yes.
longer.
Yes.
So, but we also have a lot of other solvents that are in our houses typically, right? Acetone, paint thinner, brake fluid. So
Should we wait for the drill to stop?
it's us installing our new laser.
I assume our audio producers are so good that you can hear me right now. Acetone. So that's a common degreaser that I use in my garage.
Yep.
Again, Krylon did not stand up to acetone. Powder did pretty darn good. Again, it kind of re-hardened, so it's not really flaky off. And then automotive did outstanding, actually. It's really hard to see, but there's like a little bit of bubbling.
Yeah.
So left, maybe another 20 hours or something, we would have seen more failure.
Yeah.
But acetone did pretty good with powder as well.
Yeah. Another, again, expected result, right? Something that we have in our garage,
Yes.
but we're taking it to an extreme of just soaking it in the acetone.
Yes.
So.
Paint thinner, which a lot of people try to use to remove paint, and if you've ever tried, you know that it doesn't work very well. Even on Krylon, paint thinner had almost no effect after an hour and a half. Powder, it really didn't do anything at all. It didn't even turn a matte finish. And then in automotive, same thing. So paint thinner, don't worry, just use it to thin your paint. That's all it's good for.
The last one, brake fluid. And brake fluid isn't traditionally thought of as a solvent, but if you work on cars at all and you've spilled brake fluid on your floor pan or anything, you'll know that it takes off the paint.
It's an unexpected solvent. Usually you discover this in your engine bay after you're bleeding your brakes.
One of the least favorite things I like to get on my fingers. It's like a pet peeve of mine. It just feels oily for days afterwards, even like right now. But on this is the expected result. So you can actually peel off this paint. It kind of turns it into a goo.
Yeah.
So this is automotive paint. It actually had the worst effect on it. Powder coating, it actually just discolored it, but it's still together. You can see a little witness line, but it actually held up pretty well.
Yeah, I can't get my fingernail in it. Yeah.
Which is surprising for me. I think that goes to attest our powder coating prep and stuff that we've had in the back.
Yep.
And I've actually had powder coating fail on me in the past with brake fluid that wasn't done by us. But I think the surface prep that we do here and stuff had a little bit of better adhesion.
Yeah.
And then Krylon.
Yeah, it's soft. It's just really soft. So didn't hold up to brake fluid, which I've discovered as well. So overall, powder, when it's done correctly, is actually pretty durable stuff.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's close is automotive paint, which I would, I get.
Yeah.
But automotive paint is also another one of those things that takes a lot of technical skill in the background. It's a professional finish. You have to pay a lot of money for it, just like powder.
Yeah.
And, they both have their time and place. But yeah, powder coating is obviously a very durable finish. Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Okay.
So to get a price on your parts, including powder coating, upload your DXF or step file to SendCutSend.com. Thanks, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.